Today in Operation Secret Money, we're going to talk about how you can get a prepaid debit card 100% anonymous. Now this is really interesting, and I've done a lot, and I do mean a lot, of trial and error. So I'm going to tell you some stuff that you probably never heard before. Buckle up and get ready for prepaid card. So in a minute I'm going to break down the card. It really doesn't matter if you're trying to buy crypto, you're trying to pay bills. Most of you know that the United States is on the verge of passing a bill that will literally give the IRS authoritarian access to anything over $600. And of course, they propose it that, oh, we're going to catch tax cheats. No, they're not. The amount of tax cheats is minuscule compared to what this is doing. They will know everything you do, everything you buy. They will be able to track you in real time based on your debit card and your bank account. This is ludicrous, and this is the worst thing. I mean, just when you couldn't imagine things getting worse, the United States says, hold my beer, we can do you one better. The land of the free, huh? Not exactly. So, a lot of people have been asking me, hey, I know you do a lot of advanced offshore stuff and a lot of anonymous banking and things like that, which I've broke down in this channel before, how to do ghost businesses, how to do ghost banks. And if you're not in business, you really need to consider getting in business because things are going to be changing quickly, and this is rapidly becoming a problem for a lot of people. But we're going to break down how you can get a simple prepaid card right off the bat so you can still keep yourself private, because crypto is being tracked. Now your bank is going to be tracked, which was illegal. It's actually, I shouldn't say was. That is technically illegal right now. Right now, but they're trying to pass a bill so they can stalk everything you do at all times in the name of taxes. This is getting out of hand, and per usual, the American people are not standing up and saying no. If they stood up and said no, all these bills would die like that because these politicians are petrified of losing their power. But instead, they just like, oh yeah, no, sounds great. So what can you do right now? Now, if you want to learn how to do the advanced strategies, go to privacyxproject.com and we can show you exactly how to become an actual ghost, both business and personal. But if you're just looking to get an anonymous card, this is a green dot card. Now, green dot cards are not anonymous. So you need to really listen to what I'm about to tell you, because it's not what most people tell you. Green dot cards are not anonymous. What is green dot's goal? So how does this happen? Well, you can go to a store, and you can go to almost any store and get a green dot card. Now, I do recommend green dot cards, and I'm going to tell you why. So let's break this down. If you see this white thing, this is just, I put a little tape. There's money on this card, and so I put some tape so you guys can't have all the numbers, right? So you just steal the money. So that's this white thing. That's just some tape covering a couple numbers. But ultimately, you go to a store and you put, like, I think on this one I put like $300. So not a ton of money, but you put like $300 on this card, okay? And you get the card, and then you're supposed to go home and register it. Perfect. Now, when you get on your computer, I've showed you details, step by step, how to use a virtual machine and Tor to get on the internet 100% anonymously, where literally the NSA would have to be trying to track you. Other than that, you're anonymous, okay? The NSA can always find you if they really, really want to, if they're willing to spend the resources. I don't know what you did for that, but other than that, you're going to be anonymous. And you're not breaking any laws anyway, so it's not a big deal. But you need to use the steps I taught on how to use a virtual machine to do this. It's exactly what you do. If you don't do that, you're not actually anonymous. So step one, go to the store, buy the card, put whatever money you want, so in this case, $300. Go home, log into your virtual machine, exactly how I showed you how to use Whonix and Tor. Once you're in your virtual machine, you can register the card. Now, there's a couple things you need to keep in mind. And I need to state at this moment that I'm telling you this for entertainment purposes only. I'm telling you what I do. I'm not recommending you do this. You know, I legally probably need to say that. So, again, it's not breaking laws, but we are in a gray area, which is basically everything. Now, what I recommend, well, what I did, you do whatever you want to do, was once I went to log in, it's going to say name, social security number, and address. Yeah, it's going to ask for all those things for a prepaid debit card, and they all do. So I purposely put in my alias. I purposely put in a random social that wasn't even close to mine, and I purposely put in a random address. Now, the address was of a house that exists but is under construction. And I use a lot of those for aliases, and that's more of an advanced tactic that I teach my clients at Privacy X. But there's a lot you can do with that. You can become a ghost very quick. Now, you can't get anything. It's a long process. Anyway, you use whatever address you want to use. You can even use your own address if you rent a house. I wouldn't recommend using your own address if you own the house because it'll be linked to you. But even if you rent the house, it really doesn't matter. But I never do that. So then what I recommend you do, or what I did, was you enter in the information wrong. It'll activate the card instantly. And then within 2 minutes, it will suspend the card. Within 2 minutes, it'll suspend the card and say, hey, your information is not valid. Then what you do is you re-put in the same information. Now, I can't tell you what to do, but I re-put in the same alias. I changed the social, but it still wasn't my social, obviously. And I reconfirmed the address. So I used the same address, the same alias, and a different social. Then I reconfirmed it. Then it was good to go. Then I could start spending money anonymously. Now, here's what Green Dot will say. Hey, we cannot send you a card with your name on it, because their goal isn't for you to have an anonymous card because they have all these banking laws. Their goal is to stalk you and track you the same way the government does unconstitutionally. So, you put in the wrong information the second time, it goes to a verifier. It takes about 48 hours. Then you can spend the money in the meantime. Now, you might be thinking, well, after 48 hours, does the card get shut down? I originally thought so, but in my experience, the answer is no. What happens is they give you a message about every 4 days saying, we can't send you your card with your name on it. My goal is not to get a card with my name on it. My goal is to have an 100% anonymous card. If I get this card, buy it in cash, give you fake information, but I still use the card on the internet. Now, you won't be able to use this in person. I need to clarify. You won't be able to use this in person. But on the internet, you will. Now, you're not doing anything wrong. You're spending your money, but you're spending your money anonymously. Now, I can't recommend you do this, but I've experimented with it 4 times, and it's worked flawlessly all 4 times, because how the system works is the first time it suspends the card, so you cannot use it. You have to put in, I've tried this multiple ways, you have to put in the same alias, the same address. The only thing that can change is the social. Now, whether you put your own social or not is up to you. That's your call. If you want to put in your social for an anonymous card, hey. But the social changes, and then they review it. It takes about 48 hours. In that time, most people will just spend all the money on the card, and now you've done whatever you wanted to do anonymously. Mission accomplished. But if you want the card for longer than that, after the 48 hours, I thought they would suspend the card after the 48 hours. They didn't. They just keep bombarding me with messages. Now, I get a new one of these about every 30 days, but they keep bombarding me with messages saying, we cannot send you the card with your name on it until we can verify your government identity. I don't want no government identity. No, dude, I'm good. Right? And then you just switch out the card. Now, after a certain period of time, and I've read on their website that it's 90 days, if you do not verify your identity, the card will be canceled, and you'll have to go through a massive claims process to get the money back. So, 2 things. A, I don't recommend putting massive amounts of money on these, but I have heard of a lot of people putting quite a bit of money on them and moving around. I need to be clear. I'm not talking about this for illegal activities. I'm talking about this so you won't be stalked and tracked by this totalitarian, treasonous government we currently have worldwide, basically, including the U.S. at this point. Now, this is my opinion. This is what I do. You need to do whatever you want to do. You need to get financial, business, and legal advice before you do anything. But a lot of people have been asking me to share what I do, and absolutely, I'm not going to give these people my name. Now, it's basically, in my opinion, a way of spending cash online. Now, people say, well, Cody, couldn't you do the same thing with crypto? Well, I've used these to buy crypto. Interesting. I'm going to do a full tutorial, a breakdown tutorial, because I don't think that explaining that does justice, so I need to do an actual tutorial of how I can use this to buy crypto, because it actually works. And then you have real anonymous crypto, provided you buy something like Monero or Pirate Chain or real anonymous crypto. If you buy a government-stacked, government-tracked crypto like Bitcoin, I mean, they're basically online just searching every move you do. And now that they can break into your phone legally, soon as you buy crypto, it's basically like having a tracking tag. It's like the government tagged you. And now they're doing the same thing with the bank accounts. So this is another way, because you could do the same thing with cash. You might, well, if I'm in person, if you're in person, just spend cash. Absolutely. But if you're not in person and you want to do things online, the best thing to do is what I just talked about here, and then you're set. Anyway, let me know your experience down below. Works great. Been doing this for about 3 months and have had no issues with it. Done it 4 times. That's why I'm bringing it to you. I don't like to do things once because it could be an anomaly. Twice could be a coincidence. But after 4 times, I think it's working. Yeah. So appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Got tons of in-depth, detailed content on privacy, how you could be a ghost, how you can disappear and live a private life in this crazy world. Privacy is a right, and it's a right that needs to be protected. You need to protect it. I need to protect it before the government and the big companies come and squash it. Appreciate you checking this out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.